Welcome to Valmiki Ramayan in English.
Let's meet the creator behind it all, Dr. T.K. Bansal.
What's so amazing is that he's a blind scientist from the University of Oxford.
And he is on a pretty ambitious mission.
Basically, he's presenting this ancient story for a whole new generation.
He's taking the classic Valmiki Ramayan and turning it into modern English videos.
The whole point is just to make this incredible story accessible to literally everyone.
And you know what? This is actually where you can help out.
It's really simple to support the project. Just like the videos, share, and subscribe.
Seriously, every little bit of engagement helps this amazing vision reach more people.
I want you to imagine something for a moment. You're a king.
Okay.
But you're not on a throne. You're in exile. You're hiding.
Hiding on top of a jagged mountain peak.
Exactly. Because your older brother, who is, vastly more powerful than you, wants you dead. You're paranoid. You're jumping at every shadow.
And you're convinced every rustle in the forest below is an assassin.
An assassin sent to finish the job. And from this viewpoint of just absolute terror, you look down and you see two young men entering the forest.
And these aren't just any travelers. The text is very specific about their appearance.
It is. They're described as having the bearing of gods, shoulders like lions, chests like bulls.
Yeah.
But here's the massive contradiction, the thing that sets this whole story in motion.
They're dressed like ascetics.
Yes. They're wearing tree bark, they have matted hair.
Yeah.
But they're carrying these massive bows that shine like Indra's thunderbolt and swords with golden hilts.
So right away, your brain just can't square it. The visual language is all mixed up. Are they peaceful sages or are they weapons of mass destruction?
That is the question we are answering today. We're doing a deep dive into a really pivotal moment from the Kishkindha Kaand of the Valmiki Ramayana. We're looking specifically at Sargas 2, 3, and 4.
This is the moment Rama meets Hanuman.
And honestly, calling it a meeting really sells it short.
Oh, absolutely. If you analyze the raw Sanskrit, what we're looking at is a masterclass in diplomacy, the psychology of fear, and arguably the most detailed breakdown of communication skills you will find in ancient literature.
I was blown away by the detail in these translations. We're not just getting a story, we're getting a manual on how to build trust in a hostile environment. So our mission today is to unpack how fear almost derailed one of the greatest alliances in mythology, and then, and this is the part I'm really excited about, we're going to break down Rama's specific, almost technical checklist for what makes a perfect communicator.
It's a fascinating list. But to really get why it's so important, we have to understand the problem. We have to start where the text starts.
Sarga 2.
The panic on Mount Rishimukha.
Okay, so set the scene for us. We've got Sugriva, the Vanara king, and he spots Rama and Lakshmana down below. His reaction isn't just curiosity. The text says he's agitated.
Agitated is putting it mildly. Valmiki describes him as being physically unable to stand still. His heart is literally sinking with fear.
You have to look at the logic of his paranoia, right?
You do. He sees two warriors who have deliberately disguised themselves as ascetics. To a paranoid mind, that deception is a huge red flag. It signals espionage.
Right. He turns to his ministers and basically says, look at them. They're hiding their warrior intent under bark robes. He's 100% convinced his brother Vali has sent them as hitmen.
And what's so striking is how that fear spreads. It's not just Sugriva trembling in a cave. It becomes a contagion.
A full-blown stampede.
It really is. The text gives us this incredible, almost cinematic description of the other Vanara chiefs, the monkey leaders. They see Sugriva's fear and they just completely lose their composure. They abandon their posts.
And start fleeing from peak to peak. The imagery there is wild. It says they are shaking the very foundation of the mountains with their weight.
Yes, and there's this tragic sort of poetic detail. In their haste, they're snapping trees that are in full bloom. It describes this shower of flowers falling around them as they flee.
It's just chaos.
Yeah.
Destroying the beauty of their own sanctuary because they're so consumed by this unknown threat.
It's a mob mentality, and they all end up huddled around Sugriva for protection. But this is where the dynamic shifts.
Enter Hanuman.
He steps up as the voice of reason. But he doesn't just offer comfort. He doesn't just say, there.
No, he offers logic. And frankly, a little bit of a reprimand.
He does. First, he grounds Sugriva in geography. He reminds him, we are on the Malaya mountain range, specifically Mount Rishimukha. Now, because of a previous curse of Vali, the brother Sugriva is so afraid of, literally cannot step foot on this mountain.
Or his head will explode.
Right, so it's a sanctuary, it's a safe zone.
Hanuman's basically saying the one person you fear cannot be here.
Exactly. But then he goes a step further and he critiques Sugriva's leadership. He tells him, "You have revealed your monkey nature, your kapitva."
It feels like a loaded term.
Oh, it is. He's implying that Sugriva's being fickle, unstable, unable to focus. He says a king who doesn't use intelligence to examine a situation before panicking can't rule properly. A king has to be steady.
Investigate before you flee.
That's it. And that's a high-risk move, criticizing a king who's in the middle of a panic attack.
But Sugriva actually listens, sort of. He calms down enough to make a plan, but he's still deeply suspicious.
He is. He argues that kings have many friends and are multi-perspective, which basically means that enemies can use tricky agents to get to you. He says trust should not be given lightly.
So he authorizes a vetting mission.
And he sends Hanuman down. But look at the specific instructions he gives him.
Right. Go as an ordinary person.
Don't go as a giant magical Vanara. Go in disguise. And the mission is strictly intelligence gathering. Analyze their gestures, their expressions, their speech. Only if they seem pure-hearted should you reveal yourself.
Which leads us right into Sarga 3. Hanuman descends the mountain to intercept these two godlike warriors.
And per his orders, he shapeshifts. He abandons his monkey form and takes on the form of a bhikshu, a wandering mendicant.
Which is strategic, right?
Very. A warrior approaches another warrior with a hand on his sword. A monk approaches with open hands. It just lowers the defensive temperature immediately.
So he walks up to Ram and Lakshmana. And Hanuman opens with what might be the most eloquent, cold approach in all of literature. He doesn't just say, "Hello, who are you?"
No, it's a speech designed to disarm. He starts by acknowledging that contradiction we talked about. He says, "You look like Rajarshi's royal sages, or like the sun and moon descended to earth."
He notes their power shoulders like lions, chests like bulls, but he gently presses on that incongruity. Why are you, with these majestic weapons, wandering this terrifying forest dressed like this?
He's basically saying, you're clearly powerful enough to rule the world, so why are you here scaring the wildlife? It's a gentle interrogation wrapped in praise.
And finally, after building this rapport, he reveals his hand. He says he's a minister of Sugriva, named Hanuman, son of the wind god Vayu, and he offers Sugriva's friendship.
Now, this is the moment where the deep dive really earns its name. Hanuman finishes speaking.
And Rama says nothing. He doesn't answer.
No. He turns to his brother, Lakshmana.
And he gives this incredible, almost managerial performance review of Hanuman's speech. This isn't just, oh, he spoke well. This is a forensic analysis of communication.
It really is. Rama is one of the most intelligent figures in the entire canon, and he deduces Hanuman's entire educational background just by listening to him speak for maybe a minute or two.
He starts with the Vedas. He says to speak this way, he must know the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, and the Sama Veda. Now, for us, that might just sound like a list of books, but what does that actually imply?
It implies a total mastery of language and culture. The Rig Veda is hymns and history, so he has vocabulary. The Yajur Veda is ritual, so he understands proper conduct. And the Sama Veda is musical. It's about intonation and meter.
So Rama is saying this guy isn't just smart. He is a master of the entire spectrum of sound and meaning.
It's a heavy credential, but then Rama gets even more technical.
The grammar.
The grammar. He points out that Hanuman spoke a lot, but he made 0 grammatical errors, not a single slip.
In a high-pressure situation, facing two armed strangers.
Flawless.
Okay.
But Rama goes deeper. He analyzes the body language. He says no faults were found in his face, eyes, forehead, or eyebrows.
He was hunting for micro-expressions.
Exactly. The twitch of a liar, the furrowed brow of someone with a hidden agenda. But Hanuman was transparent. His face matched his words.
And then the voice itself.
The voice itself. He notes it was neither too loud nor too soft. A middle tone.
The Goldilocks zone of authority.
Precisely. Too loud, you seem aggressive. Too soft, you seem weak or secretive. This middle tone commands attention without demanding it. And Rama even notes the physiological origin. The voice came from the chest and throat. It had weight.
And finally, the delivery. Quick, clear, and not dragging.
That not dragging part is so key. It means he was concise, he respected their time. And Rama concludes with this incredibly powerful verdict. He tells Lakshmana, a king who has such an envoy is destined for success.
That's the ultimate endorsement. He's basically saying, I haven't even met Sugriva yet, but if this is the guy representing him, then Sugriva is the real deal.
Rama even says that an enemy with a raised sword, someone coming to kill you, would be disarmed by a voice like that. It's the ultimate testament to soft skills.
A warrior who can destroy armies is won over by perfect grammar.
And perfect tone. So on the strength of that analysis, Rama gives Lakshmana the green light. He says, talk to him.
And this moves us into Sarga 4. The atmosphere here just shifts completely. We go from this high-level intellectual analysis to something much more raw and emotional.
Yes. The silence breaks and Lakshmana takes the lead. And notice the contrast. Hanuman was polished, diplomatic. Lakshmana is blunt, emotional, and just heartbreakingly honest.
He lays it all out. They're lineage sons of King Dasharatha. He tells the story of the exile. He uses this metaphor comparing Rama to a sun setting at the end of the day, the loss of glory.
It's a poignant image. And then he reveals the core trauma. A Rakshasa stole Rama's wife from our empty ashram. He explains they aren't just wandering, they're on a referral. A demon they defeated, Kishkindha, told them, Sugriva is powerful, he will know who stole her.
But then Lakshmana says something that it stopped me in my tracks. He highlights the irony of their situation. He says Rama used to be the refuge of the world.
He was the protector, the one people came to for help.
And now?
Now the roles are reversed. Lakshmana says now he's the one seeking refuge. It's a total stripping away of ego, and the text mentions that Lakshmana actually sheds tears here. He gets emotional explaining this fall from grace to a total stranger.
Which is a massive risk. They're warriors. Showing weakness usually gets you killed. Why do you think he does it?
I think because true alliances aren't built on posturing. They're built on shared reality. Lakshmana's vulnerability, it acts as a bridge.
And how does Hanuman react to this? Because remember, he's still technically a spy. He could use this.
But he doesn't. This is where the whole art of the alliance just clicks into place. Hanuman listens to this story, exile, lost kingdom, a wife stolen by a powerful enemy, and he has this profound realization.
That it's a mirror image.
It's a perfect mirror image. Sugriva was exiled by his brother Vali. His wife, Rama, was also taken by Vali. He's living in fear, deprived of his kingdom. Hanuman realizes this isn't a charity case for Sugriva. This is a strategic necessity.
Right. It's a value exchange. If Rama helps Sugriva get his kingdom back from Vali, then Sugriva and his entire army can help Rama find Sita.
It's mutual need. The text says Hanuman becomes thrilled. He sees the path to restoration for his king. He realizes by bringing these two together, he solves everyone's problem.
So the trust is established. And I just love the visual conclusion to this whole segment. Hanuman realizes, okay, the game is up. We're on the same side now.
He abandons the mask. The text says he casts off the bhikshu form and assumes his natural, heroic Vanara form.
Which must have been quite a sight. Suddenly this monk transforms into a powerful divine monkey. And then he makes this physical gesture that just seals the deal.
He offers his back to them. He physically lifts Rama and Lakshmana onto his shoulders. It's this literal act of support.
Carrying them up from the forest floor to Mount Rishamukha to finalize the alliance with Sugriva.
It's such a perfect bookend. We started with Sugriva shaking in terror on the mountain, watching these enemies approach.
And we end with his most trusted minister triumphantly carrying those same enemies up the mountain to save him.
And it all hinged on that one conversation. If Hanuman had been arrogant, or if his speech had been sloppy, Rama might have just dismissed him.
Or if Lakshmana hadn't been vulnerable, hadn't shown that grief, Hanuman might not have seen the connection between their plights. So let's bring this back to our mission. What's the big takeaway for you here?
For me, looking at the source material, the biggest revelation is Rama's analysis of trust. We tend to think of trust as, a gut feeling or something based on long-term reputation. But here, trust is incredibly technical.
Technical how?
Rama trusted Sugriva, a monkey king he had never met, solely because of the technical proficiency of his envoy. The grammar, the tone, the body language, the education. It suggests that in high-stakes environments, how you present yourself is the first and most critical filter for your credibility.
That is huge. You can have the best intentions in the world, you can be a god like Rama, but if you're mumbling or your body language is shifty or you're dragging the conversation, you don't get the alliance.
Precisely. Excellence in communication is treated here as a proxy for excellence in character. Rama's assumption is perfect speech equals a capable leader.
And the other side of that coin is just the sheer power of an intermediary.
And that's the provocative thought I want to leave everyone with. In this story, Rama is an avatar of the divine. He's a supreme warrior. Yet, he doesn't make this connection himself. He relies entirely on an envoy.
On Hanuman to translate his intent, and on Lakshmana to voice his pain.
It's a really humbling realization. Even the most powerful beings can't always do it alone. They need a translator. They need someone to bridge that gap.
And it challenges our modern obsession with direct action, doing it all yourself.
It does. Sometimes you're too powerful or too threatening or just too emotional to make the deal yourself. You need a Hanuman. You need an envoy who can modulate the tone, speak the perfect grammar, and create that safe space for the alliance to happen.
So the next time you're heading into a high-stakes meeting or trying to bridge some kind of divide, maybe ask yourself, are you trying to force it, or do you need to find your envoy?
And if you are the envoy, make sure your grammar is perfect.
Wise words. That's it for this deep dive into the Ramayana. Thanks for listening.
Until next time.
Jai Shri Ram.